Hello, my fellow humans. Welcome back to Scatter Love Tarot with your girl coming at you with another pick a card reading. Today we are going to do the absolute most important message you need to hear right now. First, I do want to send a shout out to our newest member, and if I apologize right up front if I say this wrong, but I do want to get that shout out in. It is to Zahara Fitriana. Thank you so much for joining the membership team. Truly honored to have you there, and I'm so excited to welcome you onto our memberships. And I do want to say thank you to anyone and everyone that continues to be a supportive part of this journey, this channel, this ever-growing tribe. I'm truly honored to be sharing this time and this space with you. And for those of you that are new here, welcome. This is that reminder that we're all here sharing this human experience together, and that this is a safe space to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic self. If this does happen to resonate with you, it would mean so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. And if you're interested in supporting the channel further, you'll find all those links below in the description box in order to do so. You can email me for personal reading. You can follow me on over to my podcast on Spotify at Scatter Love Radio. You can even join as a member, and I would love to see you on memberships. But if not, thank you for your continued support here. And with that being said, I don't have any announcements this week, except for that there is a reading that is going to get posted soon. I wasn't going to post it, but Source really brought through a very, very heavy message, and it's gonna have a trigger alert on it. So if you're wondering which one that is, it's the one with the trigger alert on it. I'm just putting it out there that if you're willing to watch it, that's fantastic, but it has a lot of controversial subjects in it, and there's a huge message that was coming through with that reading, and it's actually really long daily dice. It's almost a half an hour, and I never do a half-hour long daily dice, so I feel like I need to mention that, but it will be out sometime this week. You can keep an eye out for it, okay? Let's get to your prayer, and we'll go ahead and get this reading underway. Let me get this lit. And today we will choose from my Bird Messages oracles. All right. My beloved sources, prayers for any and all who come onto this channel, onto this reading, into this space, whether it's for a moment's time or for the entire time. I ask that you wrap them in your white violet healing light and bring comfort at this time. It does feel like there's a collective energy of dealing with a lot of healing, a lot of down, heavy energy, and I know that we can lean on you in times of need, and I know that you're always here for us in times of need. And so I ask that you lead us to that light, and that you lead us to that space of comfort, of peace, and of internal home, where we can find solace, knowing that every step that we take is okay. It's enough, and it's exactly where we need to be, and that even when things don't feel right or feel like they're aligned, that you're bringing us healing, you're bringing a detour, you're bringing divine timing into play at all moments of each and every day, and that is always going to be leading us towards our highest good. I ask that you open our hearts to make the decisions that best serve us and the journey it is that you have aligned for us, and that you always keep us held and remind us with signs and synchronicities that you are here listening and answering our prayers. As these words are spoken onto this space and upon this collective, so shall they be. Amen. Aho. Ase. Thank you, thank you, thank you, my beloved source. Thank you. So let me go ahead and get this set up out the way. Okay. So we're going to give this a shuffle. We're going to choose from the Bird Oracles. I love this deck too. I don't bring it out that often, but I've been trying to bring it out more. So, all right. What is the absolute most important message that my collective needs to hear, source? Okay, thank you. is the absolute most important message that my collective needs to hear, Source? Thank you. Okay, so for pile number 1, Source, what bird oracle card will help us better understand the absolute most important message that pile number 1 needs to hear right now? Thank you. Right, and for pile number 2, Source, what bird oracle card will help us better understand the absolute most important message that pile number 2 needs to hear right now? For pile number 2. Okay, thank you. And for pile number 3, Source, what bird oracle message will help us better understand what is the absolute most important message pile number 3 needs to hear right now? Okay, pile 3, you're getting 2 cards, okay? So I'm going to take it. On the bottom of the deck, we have a collective message that says, profit through learning and observation. So right now is definitely a time to sit in observation, to let things unfold. There's no need to rush into anything. It is okay to pull back your energy and just let people show up and circumstances show up as they will. You know, we oftentimes don't realize that we're trying to control the outcome of situations because we've done that our whole lives, right? We've tried to make things happen in a way that we want them to happen, or we try to eradicate situations from our lives that we don't want. What is this? Just a weird spot on that card. Okay. And we have to remember that everything is happening as it's supposed to. And oftentimes anything that's outside of ourselves, we have no real control over. So there's no need to try to control that situation, right? Okay, so for pile number 1, we do have this magnificent sparkly piece of pyrite for you to choose from. Oh, it's so shiny. Okay, for pile number 2, we have this fossilized shell. And for pile number 3, we have this beautiful piece of amethyst. Okay. So you have pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. Whichever one you're drawn to, that should be the pile for you. And with that being said, I will see you over on your chosen pile. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this beautiful piece of pyrite, or if you were drawn to this card during the shuffle, then this is going to be a reading on the absolute most important message that you need to hear right now. I do want to say quickly thank you to anyone and everyone that continues to be a supportive part of this journey, this channel, this ever-growing tribe. I'm truly honored to be sharing this time and this space with you. And for those of you that are new here, welcome. This is that reminder that we're all here sharing this human experience, and that this is a safe space to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic self. So with that being said, let us go ahead and hop to it. Also, if this should happen to resonate with you, it would mean so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe down below. So Source, what is the absolute most important message that pile number 1 needs to hear right now? Source, what is the most absolute important message that pile number 1 needs to hear right now? What would you like to say? What is the absolute most important message that pile number 1 needs? Okay, so we've got the 4th house Taurus and Mars energy. Interesting. So this does have to do with moving forward from past hurts and pains in your life and remembering that you are worthy of what it is that you're asking for. And that's something that we talk about a lot on this channel. But it does feel like here there's an energy coming up from a family situation where maybe you were made to feel like an outcast, or where you were made to feel like you didn't deserve good things, or where you were made to feel like you didn't matter. You weren't listened to, you were chastised for thinking differently, you were cast aside, and it definitely played with your self-worth. And your self-worth is tied to all massive transformations and manifestations in your life, pile one. And what they're saying here is that it's so vital for us to begin defending ourselves and moving on from those energies that just aren't serving us, right? And to do that in various ways. I know in some cases you can't just up and leave your family situation, but what can you do to bring your energy back to yourself? Can you say, you know what, while everybody's watching TV, maybe I can go and sit outside and journal quietly, or I can go and sit in my room and in a space that I have, or I can go and leave the house and do something that's fun for me, or hang out with friends that really do have my back. But the situation is that there's a lot of stubborn energy here. It's almost as if a part of you really believes that the more that you grow, the more that you will impact those around you. And where in so many circumstances that is the case, there's something about this cage that your family has put you in that they will never relinquish control over that cage. So no matter how much you grow, they're not going to see you differently. They just don't have the capacity to do so. And so the absolute most important message that you need right now is to move on. To move on from that and to recognize and realize your self-worth, that you are bringing good things into your life, that you are manifesting inner stability, you are manifesting physical stability and security in finances. And through that, when you understand that your self-worth is tied to you creating the life that you desire, you'll see that sometimes, as much as we want those people from our lives to be there with us as we go, sometimes they're just not going to be, because they either vibe up or vibe out. And if you have people who aren't willing to vibe up, then the only other alternative is to vibe out. And that's exactly what this feels like. You vibed up so much, but it does feel like there's an internal part of you that's hoping and praying and begging that if I vibe up high enough, then finally something will click for them. I do have this feeling that those that are surrounding you from family, they're staying asleep for the purpose of your growth. 4:44 on the clock. That's just how it's destined to be. There's no other alternative here. And it's not to say that you leaving won't impact them. It very well might. And it might be that when you finally choose yourself and move on, that they'll finally outgrow that idea and the version that they have of you. But until that moment comes, you'll never be able to change them being knees deep in the situation that you're at now. Let's get some tarot out on it and find out what's going to come through. Yeah, you're meant to lead people, and I feel like it's really hard for you to lead people when you've got, it's like I'm seeing someone who's trying to go to sleep with one eye open. That's what it feels like, one eye open all the time. And it's created a lot of frustrations in your life, a lot of anxiety and fear. And it's, the funny thing is like, you know you're not in danger, right? Like, you know that ultimately you're not in real physical danger. And maybe some of you are, but I feel like this is just that emotional and mental danger that comes from it. And I know that emotional and mental abuse is far worse in many cases than physical abuse. But this feels like you're subjecting yourself to it because you don't know any better, or because subconsciously you're still trying to shed that part of yourself. So what is the absolute most important message that pile number one needs to hear right now, Source? Okay, thank you. What is the absolute most important message that pile number one needs to hear right now? It's almost like because this is the way that you have always lived, or this is the way that you were raised, it's oddly like an addiction, right? It's, I don't know better, even though I'm trying to learn better. And so it's oddly become an addiction for you. And that's the part of you that's trying to become aware. Okay, thank you. What is the absolute most important message that pile number 1 needs to hear right now, Source? Oh, thank you. All right, what do we got on the bottom of the deck? Yeah, we have the 8 of Swords coming out in the reverse, and this is just talking about fear. This is mental fear, mental worry, mental anxiety coming through. And with the 8 of Swords, we are talking about something that is repeating over and over again, right? When we look at karma, I think the easiest way people think about karma is that I must have done something terrible to deserve whatever treatment that I'm going through. And really, karma is so much deeper than that. Like, karma is really ultimately our soul self putting our human self through lessons to let go of beliefs and false ideas that we've held on to, maybe for many lifetimes, or maybe just for this lifetime, right? And so when we think about karma, we think, oh, well, they're going to get their karma. Truthfully, everybody gets their karma because our soul wants to grow. And karma is derivative of oftentimes us staying in a place of suffering and fear and small-mindedness. And that's what this feels like. It feels like there's this cage, right? And I said that earlier. Yeah, and we have the King of Swords here and the World card. This is like a completing cycle for you. Like, when you let go of this, you're going to feel so much more free. But this is you in the center of this cage, and you have like all your family members outside of this cage, and it's so overwhelming, and it is just completely crushing you. And it's almost like if I stretch out any further, I'm going to get cut from all sides. And the 8 of Swords is showing that it's this karmic cycle that you're going through because you asked to heal this part of yourself. Now, because you asked to heal this part of yourself, you have to face this part of yourself. And that's why it's sometimes very difficult for us to heal karma, right? We want to grow intellectually here. We want to grow within our mind. We want to be mentally strong. We want to be emotionally strong, but really this is coming down to our mentality. We want to be mentally on fleet, right? At our 10, because we need to defend ourselves and to know how to defend ourselves, but equally so, we need to remember when it's more beneficial for us to say nothing and to simply remind ourselves that we're worthy of good things. Because you see here, this is a change for you, but with the 3 of coins on the bottom, we see something dissolving. It's no longer allowing to be, because it's an inverted triangle. These 3 coins create an inverted triangle. There's no stability, right? There's no stability. And these little vines always make me think of the heart. Like, this is a matter of the heart. This is something that you can choose to walk away from, but it's hard, right? It's hard because you come back to this karma. There's something that you've always known your whole life, but you're asking me to go through the gateway to the promised land, right? But because you don't know what's on the other side and you're familiar with this gateway that is very claustrophobic, it's easier to stay in a situation that leaves you feeling worthless and small than it is to move into a place that is asking you to face your fear of the unknown and the fear of discomfort. And when you do, you grow into this King of Swords where you're ready to face anything. You'll be able to say what you need to say. But more importantly here, this is an intelligent strategy that's coming forth, that's trying to be manifested in your life. Source needs you to be aware of this, right? Yeah, we have the 10 of Wands in the reverse. This is our... wow, okay, so we have the Hanged Man and the Tower in the reverse, or in the Tarot Marseille, what we know as the House of God. Let's look at this, right? This is very heavy energy. We have We have Pisces energy, we have Sagittarius energy, we have Aquarius energy, Gemini energy. We do have a lot of mutable energy. Let's focus on mutable for just a second. The mutable energy is talking about being able to flow with life, to get into the flow, right? To let things change, because all the mutable signs end the seasons. It's like Pisces ends winter, because after Pisces seasons come Aries season, and Aries begins spring, and that's a big burst of energy to remove themselves from the cold, hard, harsh winter weather, right? And now we're coming into this warm, the buds are blossoming, everything is breaking through the ground, and it's just this huge burst of energy, and it takes a lot of energy to move into the next season. And it might not seem that way, but each season brings with it massive changes. So when you're in mutable energy, we have Sagittarius and Pisces energy. This is Gemini, and this is also Gemini. You are being asked to begin to flow, right? Flow with what's coming, flow with what's next, and allow yourself to open up here. We have the Ten of Wands, though, pointing out with it being in the reverse. The Ten of Wands is a very interesting card in the Tarot Marseille. When it's in the upright, you have these two wands going straight through the center of the card, which indicate you're not alone on the journey. There's someone there with you through the maze of life, through the hardships, through everybody coming at you from every different angle. This is a promise to you with the 10 here. This is the abundance that you receive in having this person with you. When it comes out in the reverse, so we're talking about taking on responsibilities that are not ours to take on. And what energy I was getting from the dice is that it's almost this feeling that if I continue to grow and if I continue to evolve, the more I evolve, the more I have a greater chance of impacting this family member, this friend that you see as family. This could just be parents, siblings, aunties, uncles, grandma, grandpa, whoever this is in your energy that you're trying to impact through your growth. You're taking on the responsibility of their journey and tacking it onto your journey. And so here with the Hangman, we see this ask. This is an ask from Source. Are you willing to look at this from a different way? That maybe your journey will impact them, but maybe not in the way that you see. Not in keeping yourself small, not in keeping yourself stagnant, not keeping yourself in a place and in a situation that is fulfilling the self-fulfilling prophecy of the emotional ego of fear. Right? So we're asking you to change. And the Hangman is such a beautiful character. I love the Hangman. I love the description of the Hangman. He's such a unique person because he's so comfortable with himself. He's comfortable in his skin. You have him in the upright here, showing that this is something that when you choose to do it, you'll be very comfortable with the outcome. Okay, you'll just be very happy with the outcome. It's not going to keep you from manifesting. It's not going to bowl you over like you might think, right? This is showing that he's very comfortable with doing things that are oddball and being asked by other people, like, what the heck is he doing? He doesn't care, right? He finds his stability in doing things differently than everyone else. That's where his stability lies at, because that's his character, right? And here you have him hanging on the white branch, which is the source energy, the pure energy that's getting channeled. But isn't it interesting, because instead of coming through the crown chakra, this is him coming through the feet. And the reason that this card connects with Piscean energy is because Pisces are ruled by their feet. Everything that a Pisces does goes through their feet. You might actually know a lot of Pisces who deal with foot injuries or problems with their feet. Right? And it's interesting because Aquarius energy, Aquarians are ruled by their calves, their ankles, and their shins. So we have this very unique energy that it's like showing you're not wanting to take this forward, right? It's a very stubborn energy. With the House of God, this is not wanting to face reality because it's too shocking, right? It's too shocking. And the question here is, what's so shocking? Is it so shocking that they're not changing? Is it so shocking that they still don't see you? Is it so shocking that they don't understand who you are even after all this time? That's a question to ask yourself. What's so shocking? Like, why does my emotional ego want to stay ruling the roost of nothing, of an illusion? Why is that? Right? You have your emotional ego and your spirit. They both get knocked out. If the spirit's the one that grows, the ego gets washed away in the river here. Right? Because the ego is what's creating the illusion, but the spirit has to come down to where the ego is to create that healing. And so you have this energy that's present here where Source is saying your most important message is to begin asking yourself, what benefits me by staying small in this situation? And what benefits me by choosing to spread my wings and fly and be different and be seen as different, instead of taking on the responsibility of somebody else's healing? Because it's what we see here with the 10 of Wands, is that you're taking on somebody else's healing. And it's sad and frustrating when we know how good this journey feels, even though this journey is one roller coaster ride that we were not prepared for, right? But what's so sad is that when we begin to heal, how amazing we feel and how much we want to share that with everyone else. Now, what flew out here is Mars, okay? And it's interesting because I see Uranus energy with radically change here, right? We have Mars, move forward and defend self. Exactly. We've got Mars energy here, okay? Look, house 7. I can't make this up. We have profound relationships, intimacy, and this could even be someone you're married to or someone in a relationship that you're with. But you're being asked to move forward, to defend yourself in regards to your relationships. We're asking you to take a look at your intimate relationships. Have they served their purpose? And it's not you getting anything from them. It's you getting the bare minimum. Have you at least even gotten the bare minimum? Respect, honor, integrity, honesty, truth, fulfillment. Have you? Because this is what we're asking you to radically change here. You have to let go of this idea of, if I change enough, then they're going to change. Because trust me, I've been down that road, and no matter how much you change, what it creates is fuel. Everything that you do becomes fuel for them to be the victim. And people love a victim. They love a victim. Even though everybody roots for the underdog, they only root for the underdog when there's a finished product. Until that point, everybody loves a victim. And so until you're a finished product, or you can show a finished product, these people who they're talking to, these people that they're spreading whatever it is that they're spreading about you, they're gonna fall for the victim, because everybody loves a victim, because so many people reside in victim mentality, right? On the bottom, we have a combination of tension and flow, potential in a rewarding situation, right? What was I talking about? Mutable energy, asking you to flow. Now on the world card, we have all the fixed signs, right? So Scorpio, Aquarius, Leo, and Taurus energy, which you also got Taurus at the highlight of your dice reading. And that's stubborn energy, okay? Fixed energy, all fixed signs, whether they're in their light attributes or they're in their shadow attributes, they all hold with them a base level of being stubborn. This is who I am. I'm not going to change for anyone. And if you're a fixed sign, you know that. And that's fine. Because a good, healthy amount of being stubborn, we could all learn from that, right? We could all learn from standing our ground once in a while. There's something to that. But the reason that that energy exists, okay, is because they're the center of the season. And here we have that stability and loyalty to a fault. You're the only one that's stable in these connections, or this connection. So how is it fair that you're the only one that's showing up, doing the work? You're doing the mental work, the emotional work, the physical work, the healing, and this other person is benefiting from you growing. They're benefiting from your light, and they're an energy vampire, or they're getting a supply from you, or whatever it is, or even they're benefiting from when you all go out and you have this beautiful energy that everybody wants to talk to, and they feel like they're a part of the center of attention. Whatever the case may be, how is that fair when you're the only one putting in the effort. This is an anchor in your life. This is dragging you down to the bottom of the ocean, and yet you have such power and force that you're not sinking, you're just staying stagnant, okay? Look, we have co-create with spirit coming out here with crow spirit. Source is trying to bring you into manifesting exactly what you want in your life, bringing in those creations that you want to see in your life, those happy moments that you want to see. You know, our journey is not all about healing through hardships. It's not always going to be like that, even though it might feel like that sometimes. But it's not destined to be like that. Eventually, the table does turn where we begin to heal through positive things and love and happy moments where it's like, oh my gosh, my life really is this good. And you think about a moment where you have that, and it's twisting the table. And I talk about time bending sometimes, and that's really what it is. It's time bending, right? And you get to bend time, and you get to rewrite your own history. And instead of being the victim of your own story, you become the hero. And in that, you begin to heal through very positive experiences, right? Yeah, this is something that it's calling for your attention. That's exactly what I heard when I saw the crystal and focus card, okay? But again, with the crown chakra energy here, and also, again, this could be indicating that you're a Pisces, or you have Pisces highly aspect in your chart. You might have Pisces 8th house. You might have Pisces sun, moon, rising, or Venus, and Pisces in the 12th house. Okay, those are what I'm hearing right now. But the crystal for Pisces energy, really strong crystal that Pisces can work with, is amethyst. If you haven't noticed, I have a ton of amethyst. It always finds me. And I'm a sun Pisces. Okay, I also have Pisces highly aspect in my chart, but I am a Pisces sun, and it's the one crystal that always seems to find me no matter where I go. In random ways. In such random ways. So yeah, this is using your power of will, right? With Tiger and Will on this really does talk about, especially if you're a woman, and even if you're a man on here, you know, take this message to heart. It's really talking about exerting your power of will. You have a choice in your life. You don't have to fall victim to the, well, this is just the way things are, or I've spent so much time, this person's been in my life for the whole of my life, like they deserve my loyalty. But loyalty is a two-way street. If someone else isn't loyal to you, why do they deserve your loyalty? And that's a question you can ask yourself. I can answer that for myself, but I cannot answer that for you, because that answer will differ between each and every one of you. But it is a valid question to ask. If you're the one that's honest, if you're the one that's dependable, if you're the one that's a stable energy in life, and you're the one that's showing up doing all this heavy lifting, and you give them your loyalty, and yet they're dishonest, they lie to you, they gossip behind your back, they tell people bad stories about you, they're over here whispering, I keep hearing the rumor weed, right? Why does that person or these people, why do they deserve your loyalty? And just because that's the way it is not a valuable answer. That is not a valid answer at all. It's just not. Like, it's not. That is such a silly answer, because it holds no merit, right? I want to grab an Affirmies. I brought these out in the Daily Dice, and I was so glad that I did. But let's get an Affirmies message for pile number 1, Source. What would you like to say? Let's get an Affirmies message here. Just one. May I please have an Affirmies message? Okay, they want that one. Okay. So I just had to check this, but I'm going to read the one on the bottom. It says, listen, muchachos. Don't let anyone dry hump your last nerve. Some people are just so insanely crazy that underneath their crazy is a whole other underground layer of crazy. Don't try to understand these people. Just run with scissors as fast as you can to cut ties from these loonies. Look, I can't make this up. This is very clear message coming through for you, pile 1. Let's get a career and Life Oracle here, Source. Well, okay, I guess you're getting 3, so we're gonna go with it. Reflection. It's time to revisit the past and figure out what you want to do. Knowing what you don't like will show you what you truly love. Okay, so this is a past energy that's holding on, doesn't want to change, right? But they're asking you to change. Why? Because you're brilliance. Discover your own genius by breaking away from the grind to follow your own inspiration. Your ideas bring recognition. Okay? Just because is not a valid answer here. That's it. It's just not. It has no merit. You know, like it cracks me up because it's something that my mom would tell me when I was young, just because. And when I questioned her, it would just crazy things, right? Just like ups and downs. But it never made any sense to me. When I got older, I tried to explain that to her. Like, that's not a valid answer because you're not giving me a reason. If you don't want me to do something because it's dangerous, then tell me it's dangerous. Or if you don't want me to do something because there's potential for trouble, then tell me there's a potential for trouble. Like, be honest with me. And with this, they're saying to be completely honest with yourself because you're the only one that can do that. No one else is going to be as honest and blatant with you as you can with yourself. Look, magic works through you with 52 here, right? The number 7 coming out. Luck. You are lucky, but you have to change what it is that you're doing. Okay? Let the magic work through you. You have to move beyond this energy, though. We're trying to purify your soul here with rain purification. This talks about letting the rain wash away those heavy energies. Because I feel like this is something that is like permeated your aura and your soul. And it's like even when you do leave, like it just takes a lot to get it off of you. It's almost like a dirty kind of cling, you know? It's clinging to your soul. It's like, ugh, I don't want to hold this no more. Yeah, look, 33 change. I can't make this stuff up. Okay, this is a real, very clear message coming for you. They want you to change. We have this 33 coming in. Your angels are with you. Your guides are with you. There's something very creative trying to come into your energy here, trying to bring you this high vibrational, loving energy. And it's hard because you're meant to stand out and not to blend in, right? And chameleons, they can blend in with their environment, and you're really good at that. But we don't want you to do that anymore, okay? Like strategy, you need a step-by-step plan of attack to reach the next level. Get advice from someone who is already where you want to go. So start following people who are doing what you want to do, okay? Saving face. You may need to grin and bear it to maintain respect and keep your job, or you need to smile and make nice to get the position that you want. So they do want you to put down the mask here. Okay, so there is an aspect here where some of you are not able to just up and bounce out of the situation that you're in. That's respect. I get that. I understand that. You may have to grin and bear it for a while, but that doesn't mean that you have to let yourself blend in. Let yourself stand out, okay? Be aggressive and go for it. Get more aggressive about what you want in life because dreams won't chase you back. And soft voices are rarely heard. It's okay to be loud and make some waves in a no splash zone. Know what it is that you want and go for it with all you've got because nothing happens by chance. And the shark always reminds me of stepping into your path of purpose, right? Be aggressive. Go for what you want here. All right, let's take a look at your bird oracle card. You got the resplendent Quetzal, I think is how you say it. Uncover the deity within. So we're trying to locate the soul, the heart of ourselves. Okay, let me bring this up from the book. 47. Oh, I went past it. Okay. The Aztec deity Quetzalcoatl, savior of humankind, braved the perils of the terrible underworld, Mictlan, to retrieve the last slither of humanity's bones so that they might again populate Earth. Not only does this puissant god bear resplendent Quetzal's name, but also dresses his magnificent, sinuous serpent's body in his feathers so he too might fly and be a master of the sky and earth, wind and rain. And then I was talking about spreading your wings and flying here. I love this. Quetzal shimmers in the forest green coolness, his feathers more valued by the Aztecs than gold. out glitter the most faceted emeralds. And like Quetzalcoatl himself, he cancels himself from curious, or conceals himself from curious eyes. That's what this saving face is talking about. If he has chosen to reveal himself in your cards, it is to ask you to seek the divine within, to turn from the world's crude glitter to the spirit that shines brighter than the sun within your heart, and to the god or the goddess that inhabits your innermost being. Yes, I love that. And this is helping you find your truth. There's a lot of blue in your reading here. It's helping you connect with your throat chakra. This is about opening up your throat chakra, which is about us speaking, living, and finding our truth, and really not being afraid to put that out into the world. So let yourself shine here. Let yourself be seen. Stop trying to play small, and stop worrying about if growing too big for this situation is going to cut you, because it's better to get cut and be happy with yourself than to stay small and miserable for the rest of your life for fear. Okay? So pile number 1, this was actually a magically wonderful reading here. I'm really honored that I got to do it for you. If you feel like this is your reading though, leave a shark emoji down below and say, I uncover the god or the goddess within, knowing that my purpose shines brighter than any gold. And if it did resonate with you, it would mean so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe down below. If you're interested in supporting the channel further, you'll find all those links in the description box below. You can email me for a reading. You can follow me on over to my podcast on Spotify, Scatter Love Radio. You can even join as a member, and I would love to see you on memberships. But if not, thank you for your continued support here. And with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here and leave it there. I do want to take a quick second, though, to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my guides for coming together to give us this amazing message. And until next time, pile number 1, stay human. P.S. It's 33 minutes on the clock. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this beautiful fossilized shell, or if you were drawn to this card during the shuffle, then this is going to be a reading on the absolute most important message you need to hear right now. I do want to say thank you to anyone and everyone that continues to be a supportive part of this journey, this channel, this ever-growing tribe. I'm truly honored to be sharing this time and this space with you. And for those of you new here, welcome. This is that reminder that we're all here sharing this human experience, and that this is a safe space to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic self. And if this should happen to resonate with you, it would mean so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe down below. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and hop into it and find out what is the absolute most important message that pile number 2 needs to hear right now, Source. What is the absolute most important message that pile number 2 needs to hear right now? What would you like us to know? What is the absolute most important message that pile number 2 needs to hear right now? Oh, okay, so we've got the 10th house, Saturn, and Cancer energy. You have done a lot. A lot. This could be your healing journey. This could be business. This could be building a business. This could be work. This could be a position that you have or position that you're trying to apply for. Whatever it is, you know, the 10th house does talk about our path of purpose. So it really could be anything that you feel called to as a soul purpose, and really pouring into that here. And you've really nurtured that, right? And it's actually brought a ton of healing for you. I see that here with the Cancerian energy at the center of this reading. We see that it's bringing a lot of healing to the internal nurture, right? And the inner child, like having to find creative, fun ways to come about this, creative, fun ways to connect with your higher purpose. And even though there is nothing new, there is only different. So there might be other people who are doing very similar things as you, but you bring a different energy to it, and that's beautiful, right? And it's something that has helped you overcome a lot of barriers. It's helped you gain recognition, or you're moving in that direction. It might not be here just yet, but we see that you're moving in that direction. There's been a huge sacrifice made here. And I feel like the sacrifice has been your time, your energy, and your effort. You know, like, I'm going to show up and put forth my best foot and do the best that I possibly can and give it my all. And if it fails, at least I know I tried, right? And of course, we never want to see anything that we put that much effort into failing, but when at least you've tried, and even if you didn't succeed, you know that you know how it turned out, right? Like, you weren't trying to figure out how is this going to turn out or worry about how it's going to turn out. Like, you know for sure it didn't work, or you now know what not to do. And so if you choose to continue on that path, you know what not to do. We do see here, though, that this is something that heavily weighs on your shoulders, is whether or not we're going to be successful at this. And of course it would be, because when you commit that deeply to something, you want it to prosper, you want it to thrive. And it feels like here, this could even be a relationship, and I'm really not getting that here, but the example that they're giving me is like a relationship. If you put time, energy, and effort into a relationship, you want it to thrive, right? You want it to succeed, but we know that that doesn't always end up the case, right? Even though there's a lot of things that we have to compromise on, there's a lot of things that we have to find balance in, there's a lot of things that we have to come together in to make very, very secure choices for our best interests, not just mine, not just yours, but our best interests together. And whatever this is that you're building, you're treating it just like a spouse. It's like, I have to do what's best for my business, or for my position, or for my path of purpose, or for my healing journey, or for, you know, learning about yoga, learning about Reiki, learning about spirituality, or learning about, you know, love, or learning about whatever it is. Okay, there's like a sense of learning and growing, and there's this energy. It's like give and take. Like, I'm going to give you everything I got. And my prayer is that you're going to give it back to me. But I can only ever know that that's going to be real if I actually show up and do the work. And that's exactly what you've done. And I feel like you have faced a lot of fears in doing this. First, the fear of being seen. You face that, and you still face that, right? You still face that every day. It's not that it ever really truly went away. It just gets easier. The fear of it not giving you a return, you're facing that fear because it's like, at least I'm showing up and I'm doing the work, and I know the promise of the universe is if you do the work, I'll meet you halfway. So there's the hope and the faith that's driving you. And the fear of it falling apart, and you know that you're the one that's holding it together, and if you're being dependable, then it too is a product of your consistency. And that's something that gains recognition just naturally. When you become super consistent, that's something that people rely on, no matter if it's the best of the best, the worst of the worst. If you're consistent, that's going to gain recognition right off the bat, because you could have the best of the best of the best out there, and if they're not consistent, people aren't going to trust that person as a source, right? And so that's exactly what this feels like. You've given it your all, and you've created something that is insanely consistent. And you treat it like your spouse. You treat it like your lover. You treat it like your baby. Okay, and I know these are all weird things to say about this, but you show up for it 100%. It's dependent on you and the work that you put in here. And so we see that this is what we're facing, and this is what we're talking about today. So let's find out some more about this, right? Let's get some tarot out and find out what source wants to bring through with this. Keep getting like your intuition is leading you exactly where you need to go. Like moving away from the idea of just doing it for the sake of the money, but doing it because it's fulfilling. What did you like about it? What was it that made you want to get involved in this? Was it a cause? Was it something near and dear to your heart? Is it something that you just feel super called to? Like bringing it back to that reason that you got involved in the first place, and continuing to hold that reason, right? So source, what is the absolute most important message that pile number 2 needs to hear right now? What is the absolute most important message that pile number 2 needs to hear right now? Okay, thank you. What is the absolute most important message that pile number 2 needs to hear right now? I feel like this is all kinds of things. Like says it could be a relationship, it could be a job, it could be mental healing, your health. It feels like it's kind of all over the board. So, but it is a part of your purpose. Whatever it is that you're putting so much effort into is absolutely a part of your purpose. Whoa, that card just went flying. Okay, they want it this way. Oh, no. Okay, wow. They said the other way. Okay, so, Source, what is the absolute most important message that pile number 2 needs to hear right now? Thank you. Okay. So you've been battered and bruised along this journey. People have said things to you. People have made snide comments to you. People have tried to manipulate you. Yeah, people have tried to get you to come from a place of fear. Oof. This could have been one person. It could have been an Aries or a Sag. Yeah, and it feels like for you, energetically, being in this Page of Swords, you know, the Page of Swords is interesting. It's like, I don't want to deal with these nasty people. Right? I don't want to deal with these negative people. Like, I keep hearing that line from the, what is it, Fast Five? That negativity is eating you alive, man. Like, I hear that right now. And that's what it, like, you feel like that. Like, you just want to be lighthearted and have a good time, but you're always defending yourself. And it's like, why do I have to defend myself for the actions that I'm taking? There's this fear that comes with that. Like, instead of standing firm in your truth and just knowing, like, my actions are mine to take, and no one has the right to live vicariously through me, and no one has the right to tell me what's right or wrong for me. You have to stand firm and secure in the decisions that you make. But it feels like here you're trying to justify why you did what you did, or why you took this route, or why you took this road. And I've been there. So this is very naturally human to us to want to defend ourselves, because we already feel the judgment from people. And especially if you're an empath, you know, I'm an acute empath. And so I feel a lot of how people feel towards me without ever saying anything. And so when people are making judgments based on you in their minds, you may even have telepathy. You may be able to hear their thoughts, but I do feel like for you, pile 2, you absolutely can feel what it is that they're feeling. And if you see here, you're defending against the Emperor in the reverse and the 8 of Wands here, also in the reverse, which is a fear. This is someone here who's trying to knock you up one over the head. This could be a father figure in your life. This could be a grandfather. This could be a spouse. This could be someone that you've had kids with, like a baby's daddy or a mama's what is it? Baby daddy, mama daddy, or baby mama. Wow, I can talk. That was so weird. It's almost like this person doesn't want me to call them out. So it could be a baby's mama for some. Okay, because it's like I couldn't even say it. Like, this person didn't want me to call them out. You know, anytime the Emperor comes out in the reverse, this is dealing with someone who has highly narcissistic tendencies. Now, whether they're narcissistic or not, I'm not a psychologist. I'm not here to diagnose someone. It's just that this card talks about someone showing up from those tendencies, love bombing you, making it feel like it's all your fault, blaming you for everything that's going wrong in their life, putting it all on you, and making you feel bad so that they can feel superior, okay? Because right now this person feels like you in a Page energy is already superior than them. You're already in a leadership position compared to them, even though this person, if they got their stuff together, they could be the Emperor. And I feel like you can be the Emperor and you can be in that high position. You absolutely are headed towards there. And this is not saying like, oh, you're not, you know, you're not capable of that. No, that's not what this is. You're very capable of that. You're moving, but this is just a mindset that is coming out right now that Source wants to highlight. So you could very well be in your Emperor status, bossing it up, glowing up, growing up, doing all these things that are necessary for your journey, your trip. But right now there's this feeling of having to defend oneself for something that maybe at some point you were even unsure if this was the right path for you to take. And it's difficult, right? Because your whole heart and soul is in this. We see that with the dice, even with the page here. You see that your whole heart and soul is in this. Like, you want to take up this space. You want this to be a part of your journey. It's the truth of it. You're walking in this. You're passionate about it. But there's still this very immature need to defend oneself. And that's something I feel like we as humans have to learn along the way, is that what we choose to do is what we choose to do, and no one deserves an explanation. But sometimes we just get into that habit of giving an explanation here. Yeah, see, it has to do with whatever it is that you're doing to find financial stability. Okay, with the Four of Wands here, or the Four of Coins. And then you have the Magician coming out. Look, yeah, exactly. Forget the Emperor here. You're the Magician, baby. You're magic, okay? You're magic. 1, 2, 3, 4 on the clock. You're making progress. You have everything you need to succeed. Okay, but look, you're both looking at this energy like, oh my gosh, what do? Like, I gotta defend myself because I'm making money this way. The only thing on your mind is your coin. And taking action towards your coin here, you are making progress. But with the Magician, source is saying to have faith. Have faith that what you're doing will bring with it fruits of your labor, the fruits of your effort, okay? But you don't have to explain to anyone why you chose this path. No one needs to understand why you woke up one day and decided to be an artist, or why you woke up one day and decided to be a nutritionist, or why you woke up one day and decided to be a tarot reader, or why you woke up one day and decided that you were being called to do something spiritual, or you wanted to be a teacher, or whatever the reason is. Everyone is gonna say something no matter what you choose. You could go for the most well-paid, sought-after job in the world, and someone is going to have something to say. And it's that energy that makes you feel like you have to give a reason as to why you chose this. But you see, you're in good energy here. You're already standing in the Magician. You have your mind on your money and your money on your mind. Okay? And you see here with the Four of Coins that you are creating financial stability. It may be slow, but you're moving towards it. But right now at the forefront, Source wants to address this need to explain why you've taken the actions that you've taken. Just, say, because I did. And it's so weird because that actually came up in pile number 1, but in an entirely different context. Right? Because I said so. That was the energy, right? And because I said so, it's not a viable answer. It holds no merit. Except for in a situation like this. It's not necessarily because I said so. It's because I am. Who cares? Because I am. Well, so why did you choose that? Because I did. There's no... You need not say anything else. Okay? Really, you don't even have to say that. Let's see what this card is. Yeah, the Two of Coins. In the reverse. Okay, all right, yeah. There's been a lot of twists and turns on your journey. And the thing is that Source is pointing out here that you have become so capable of juggling the answers that you give to people each and everywhere you go. They keep showing me the example in my own life when I started being a tarot reader, and how I felt like I had to tell everybody that I still believed that there was a God or source and everything, and how that was always the one thing that I always felt judged for. It's like, oh, so you're a product of the devil because you read tarot cards. And I was like, have you ever even studied tarot? Like, have you ever even looked into it? Or do you just believe what everybody tells you? So if everybody tells you that the sky is purple instead of it really being blue, you're just going to believe that the sky is purple because that's what people say? And I was in that mentality of like, I had to defend myself because I already knew it was going to bring up a situation. And then when it was like trying to express spirituality, because I say source, I don't say spirit, I don't say the universe, I don't say God, I don't say Jesus, I don't say any of that. I say source because to me, ever since I was a child, it's from whence we came. That's source, right? Source is from whence we came. And that's something that has stuck with me since I was probably 5 years old. I can't explain that. It's just something that has happened and makes sense to me. And I hold that. And I've gotten accused of not believing in Jesus or in, Jesus Christ. And I'm like, you know what? If we can't find, this is something I tell people, if we can't find a unity in faith, let us find a unity in love. And I feel like the same for you, Pile 2. If you cannot find a unity in understanding, then let us at least find a unity in love and acceptance, okay? Because there's nothing else that's going to bring you on common ground except for acceptance of what is and love of what is. And again, you don't have to explain this to anybody. You don't have to try to convince anybody of this, because what you believe in and what you choose in your life, guess what? At the end of the day, it's your life. right? It's not for them to say it's my choice to do something for pile 2 because I know what's better than pile 2. I know how pile 2 needs to live their life better than pile 2 does. They've never walked a mile in your shoes, and that's what they're saying here. Whoever this energy is, and this could be multiple people, to me it does feel like one person, one particular person who really gets a kick out of seeing you stuck in this unsure energy. Right? They just like every time you question yourself, because I feel like when you're in your element and you're moving and you're doing things, you're incredibly confident and you're incredibly well spoken and you're forthright about things. You're very honest and you're doing what matters to you, and you're just boom, 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 boom. Nothing ever bothers you. But then there's this one energy that comes in and just says something to knock you off of your kilter, off your high horse, whatever you want to call it, even though that's not really who you are. Like, you're just trying to live your life and be happy, right? I'm just trying to be who I am. Why do you got to bother me? There's always going to be that person. This is like mean girl energy, okay? There's always going to be that one person who's got to bother. Why? Because they feel like they have a right to. Oh, I need a drink. Bring myself back down from this energy. What Source is showing here, they're acknowledging there's been a lot of twists and turns, and there's been a lot of ups and downs here. Some days are good days, some days are bad days. If this is at a job that you have, this could very well be a boss or a coworker. Someone who feels like they're superior to everyone. It's not just you, okay? So it's harsh as this sounds, it's also kind of comforting to know it's never anything personal when it's someone who's in this energy, because they treat everyone the same way they treat you, even though it feels very personal, right? It feels very personal, like there must be something special about me, but really there's not anything special about you except for the fact that you being you rubs this person's demons. And the same for anybody. If anybody shows a piece of their authenticity, which most humans do at any one given point during the day, a part of our authentic self will shine through. It's just how it works. And once that moment shines through, it's like then this person comes in and tries to create chaos. And it's interesting here because you see here this person, look, we have 2, 4. We don't have 6, but we have 2, 4, and 8. And 4 is half of 8. And we see the 4 in reverse showing an instability here. All of these cards in reverse. This person is dealing with their own internal karma coming through. It's like you asked to heal a potential part of this self within you. And so you have to face that. In order for us to heal from things that we no longer want in our life, we have to face that. That's karma at its finest. We have to face what we need to grow from. That's what karma is. It's not because you did anything wrong. It's not because you lived an awful, terrible past life. It's because this is something I keep manifesting in my life. It keeps coming up in my life. It keeps recreating scenarios in my life, and I don't want this anymore. So Source, how the heck do I get rid of this? And so Source is like, okay, you want to get rid of it? So now we have to face it. So what is facing it for you? Facing it for you is recognizing that the choices that you've made to be stable on your own are yours and yours alone. This person has no business being in your business. But the more that you come from a place of feeling like you have to defend yourself, the more that these people are going to feel like they have a right to say something in your life. And the sacrifice is clear. The sacrifice is letting go of feeling like there's something wrong with what you're doing. You're still in this unsure energy, even though you're coming from, look, even the Magician is very unsure. Yeah, this could be a family member. Okay, that makes a lot of sense here. So with Judgment, it's like unkind. That's why this could be a mother. Ooh, okay, this makes sense. It could be a wife, but this could be a mother as well. And the reason why, I remember in the beginning, I was trying to say baby's mom and I couldn't say it. And so it's just interesting here, right? Because with the Judgment in reverse, it talks about a family secret that is now basically airing out dirty laundry. Everybody knows about it now. Everybody is aware that this person or this energy or this secret is out in the open, right? And so it's like, and it could have been something that you taking action on this is what put this person's secret out on blast. So like eventually the truth will set you free. Eventually this person, whatever it is that they're saying behind closed doors, And whatever it is that they're trying to convince people of when it comes to you, or whatever it is that they're trying to convince you of, eventually it's going to be put on blast. And we see that here, right? It's being put on blast right now. They really think that they have the upper hand here, but they don't. They don't recognize that not only are you a part of helping their soul grow, and if the more that they choose to resist that growth, the more that you grow, the harder it's going to be on them. And ultimately that is the greatest victory in life, is just to continue to grow, because most people will resist against their own growth. But we see here that there is a secret that's being put on blast, and so they may be trying to smear you, make you feel bad, because now the game that they've been playing is no longer at the top of their game, right? It's just not. They're not at the top of the game anymore. They're not on top. They're the ones that are being exposed here. There we go. We got it. The exposure. Someone's being exposed in your energy right now. And Source says the more that you unapologetically show up as yourself, the more that this person will get exposed. The more that these energies in your life will get exposed for exactly who they are. Not who they want to appear to be, right? Because they feel like whoever this is, they're trying to play some kind of hero complex. Like, you wouldn't be who you were if it weren't for them, or you wouldn't have the position. Like, again, it could be a boss. It's interesting. 3 of these came out in pile 1. I'll take them. Like, you wouldn't have the position that you had if it wasn't for them. Like, the only reason that you're successful in anything is because of them. But at the end of the day, pile 2, you are the only one who showed up in your life to do the work. Do not let this person make you question whether or not this is something that is good for you in your life, or whether or not you're not the one who put forth the effort, that it's all because of them. They could have played a hand in it, sure. But at the end of it's like that. Like when you're working out, there's always someone that we may talk to that can inspire us to work out. We may have a workout buddy, right? So say you have a workout buddy, you go to the gym every day, and when on the days you don't feel like it, your workout buddy still inspires you to go to the gym. But when you hit your goal and your target from the gym, was that because of your buddy? No, you're the one that put in the work. Right? You would have never hit the goal if you went to the gym and just stood in the corner while your buddy worked out. That's what they're trying to show you here. Maybe this person played a part in your journey, but it's not because of them. We have earth energy, persistence, patience, and practicality. Yeah, so that fear of things not coming together for you. Source is just saying, I know I've asked you to stay patient, pile 2. I know I've asked you to stay calm and just trust this process. I really need you to trust the process. And I love how this flipped out right now as we were talking about this. The miracles are endless. You're about to witness a miracle in your life. And I feel like this is in many ways, but it is to bring balance. With the 15 here, we have 6 in numerology. 6 is all about resolution, solution, balance, seeing yourself through eyes of love, harmony, peace. So there's something here that is just going to like blow you away that's coming through here. Yeah, and then we have lion spirit with be generous of spirit. This is going to be something that allows you to give back to others in a very profound way. And not to this person who's hurting you, not to this person who is not good for you. Source is saying, I'm bringing you into a space where you're going to be able to give back to the people who want to be in your life, and you want to be in theirs. Right? Look, we have the ancestors on the bottom with generations. So again, this could very well be a family member, but this is also a generational curse. So you're not the only one who's had to deal with this in your family lineage. This is something that's up to you though to heal. And I know that that's so frustrating sometimes, right? Like it's a heavy burden to bear. It's a heavy burden to bear, that type of healing. Okay, thank you. And on the bottom, we have Raven with news. So something is coming here. You're going to get news soon. Someone's going to contact you. You're going to hear something about, whether it's money or whatever. I want to get enough Fermies. I'm bringing these out. Okay, thank you, Source. That was quick. And on the bottom, we have be remembered for making people happy and stuff. There's so much darkness in the world. Try not to add to it. It's cool to care and be there for others. So try and be that person that radiates warmth onto anyone that comes into your orbit, because it's actually awesome to make people light up and feel like they matter. Let that good energy shine out of you like a laser beam and hit everyone in your path with it. Be a do-gooder once in a while, and you'll also get some sweet, sweet dopamine out of it, because helping others shine is its own reward. So this is what's coming, is you're helping others. You're going to be remembered for helping others. That's why I was saying being generous of spirit. Like, we have this confirmation come through. We please have a life and career message as well here, Source. Yeah, okay. On the bottom, we have flexibility. You'll need to see in the dark to maneuver the coming changes. While it seems extreme, just hang in there. This too shall pass. So it may feel frightening, the amount of change that's coming, but we have long-term coming out. An opportunity could turn into a long-term career move, or you'll be asked to commit to a position in exchange for more money. Yeah, so there's definitely a change coming in your energy, and this person is not going to be a part of it. No matter how much they feel like they deserve what you have, ultimately they don't. They didn't do the work. You did the work. And Source is rewarding you for that. Okay? Yeah. House 8, look, transformation, karma, facing fears and legacies. And we talked about this on the reading, right? This karmic energy. It's like you're facing the fears. That's what karma is facing those hardships within us that we don't want to see in our lives anymore. So there's a huge transformation here. I did say health at the beginning, and we just talked about going to the gym. And so we have establishing a foundation, health, daily life, and practical details, right? So you're showing up, you're making the commitment, you're doing what you're being asked to do. It's going to be rewarded. Yeah, we have Capricorn energy here, and that gives us all Capricorn, 10th house Capricorn and Saturn, ambition, realism, and methodical steps. It's only a matter of time before things turn in your favor here. I know we've asked for your patience, but can you please continue to be patient? You're about to leave this type of energy for good. Okay, you're in a very vulnerable place right now. You put a lot of energy forward, and that's why I was saying that fear is coming through. It's very real. It's very palpable, that energy of like, but what if? And they're saying, instead of saying what if or why me, say why not me? And if it's what if it doesn't happen, say what if it does happen? Like, change it around. Trip yourself up. Do reverse psychology on you, for heaven's sake, you know? Be in that positive energy, because it's really what they need right now, is you to meet with a positive mindset, not this I'm unsure of who I am, because in reality, your soul is far more sure of this journey than you are, and trust that. Innocence. Yeah. So again, this is pointing towards, this could be a parent. Okay. Like, this is something, but it is healing your inner child. You're definitely healing in this very healing energy. I feel like this is what's making you so vulnerable right now, is this opening of the heart chakra and really, really connecting with a deep part of yourself, right? And the page can denote a child because they're the youngest in the court cards. Look, I cannot make this up. We have connection with Tarantula here. Okay, the number 13 card, stability, right? It's an unstable connection. Look at, they're holding you back. This is someone in your energy field that's holding you back, that wants everyone to think that you're the problem here. They want everyone to think that they're the reason you're successful. Ultimately, at the end of the day, the truth will come out, okay? Let's check out your Affirmies card. Learn to let go of anything and everything, because like a handful of jello, if you hold anything too tight, it will cause an explosion of messy goo and all fall apart. And look at how they're squeezing this. I love that, because kids do that when you give them jello. They'll like reach in and grab it and squeeze it, and it all goes like that. Yeah, so don't hold on too tightly to this. That's what I'm feeling like. It's really like letting go of this belief that you have to defend yourself or explain yourself. And really, sometimes your best friend is silence. People ask you why, just say nothing and see what happens, because they're going to be the ones that are uncomfortable, not you. Right? And that's so weird, but it happens that way. Let's take a look at your bird message. Yeah, we have the Emperor Penguin. Small steps lead to profound metamorphosis. We have methodical steps. Step by step, you're getting to where you were meant to go all along. It's just a process, okay? So we have Emperor Penguin is on 38. All right, let me read this from the book. says, penguin once flew through blue Antarctic skies and skimmed over southern oceans, diving beneath their waters to feast on fish. As hundreds of thousands of years went by, penguins swam more and flew less. Finally, her wings became flippers, and she exchanged the light, hollow bones of flight for those that were dense and solid. Her feathers, now anointed with oil, became short and stiff with a downy undercoat. As your guide, Penguin counsels that change, no matter how radical, is always possible. We cannot become new people overnight, but if we accept that change takes time and believe in our hearts that the cumulative effect of hundreds of tiny changes is in the end monumental, we can eventually do anything. Penguin exchanged the wonders of aerial flight for an incomparable mastery of the seas. Like Penguin, you too can metamorphose. You just need to take that first small step. Exactly. You can change this. You can change this, right? You don't have to stay in this energy anymore. You don't have to stay with these people anymore. You don't have to let these people rule a part of your mental energy. They're just living rent free in your mind because they said this or they did that or they made you feel this way. And really most of the time, pile number 2, it's not personal. Like, it's not. This is how they treat everybody. They feel like they're the king of the kings of kings, right? And that they have a right to tell everybody how to live. And when you recognize that it's your life to live and own that, you're going to feel a lot more free. Okay? So this is what I see for you here. If you feel like this is your reading, leave a little penguin emoji down below and say, I'm capable of transformation with each small step that I take. I get to live the life of my dreams. And if it resonated with you, it means so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe down below. If you're interested in supporting the channel further, you will find all those links necessary below in the description box. You can email me for a personal reading. You can follow me on over to my podcast on Spotify at Scatter Love Radio. You can even join as a member, and I would love to see you on memberships, but if not, thank you for your continued support here. I love you so much. I'm going to go ahead and leave this here and get on out of there. And I do want to take a quick second to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my guides for all coming together to give us this incredible message. You are so strong, pile number 2. Don't ever forget that. And until next time, stay human. Bye. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this beautiful piece of amethyst, or if you were drawn to these cards because you got 2 cards during the shuffle, then this is going to be a reading on the absolute most important message you need to hear right now. I do want to say thank you to anyone and everyone that continues to be a supportive part of this journey, this channel, this ever-growing tribe. I'm truly honored to be sharing this time and space with you. And for those of you that are new here, welcome. This is that reminder that we're all here sharing this human experience and that this is a safe space to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic self. And should this message happen to resonate, it would mean so much if you were to like, comment, and subscribe down below. With that being said, let's go ahead and hop to it and find out what is the absolute most important message that pile number 3 needs to hear today, source. What would you like to come through? What is the absolute most important message that pile number 3 needs to hear? What would you like to say today, source? What is the absolute most important message that pile number 3 needs to hear? Okay, so we've got Aquarius, we've got Venus, and 11th house. Interesting. Okay. Honestly, it felt like when I saw this combination, it feels like you're building a stable friendship. That's what it feels like. Something that's going to be through thick and thin. Let's look more into this, kind of tap into this energy here. Let's see what comes out. So there's 2 energies coming in. Like, one is you're going to be building a really secure friendship with someone. The other is maybe you are trying to get recognized and you're going to gain a following some way, shape, or form here. So that could be through your job, through if you're an influencer or you're online or whatever it is. It's like you're going to be gaining a following. This could be a business that you have. And it's because of the way that you approach things. You do things in a very different, unique, unorthodox way. And you're very open. Like, you're extremely open. You're not afraid to share your unique views on the world, or in regards to this particular subject, or in regards to this product that you have. Like, it's something that's very impactful, okay? And if it's a friendship, it's the same, right? Like, that's the same type of energy here. It's like, this is just, someone is so enamored with you. They're like, wow, like, you're so unique. You're so different. You don't do the things that most people do, which we shouldn't, right? Like, that's part of the journey, but you've actually become extremely attractive and magnetic. You're drawing things to you now. This is like the last leg of your manifestation journey, even though there really is no last leg, right? But that's how they want to phrase it right now. It's like, you're going to begin to see things pop up in your life all of a sudden. Like, this is going to come in, this is going to come in, this is going to come in. And it's exciting, right? It's very exciting, but you're actually in a very receptive energy where it's knowing that it's yours, right? It's not even about going and blowing off the roof and let's get a bottle of champagne and let's pop this off and make a lot of noise. It's just sitting back, and every time something comes into your energetic field, you're just like, wow, thank you. Wow, thank you. Thank you, God. Thank you, universe. Thank you, source. Thank you, spirit. Whatever it is, right? You're just like, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And so you're going to be in a very grateful energy soon, if you're not already. Like, you may start to notice small things coming in, and it's just going to gradually get bigger from there. And this is something that it just feels like you're going to be connecting with the right group of people. You're going to be connecting with the people who are going to see you into a more successful time in your life. And not success as in money, okay? Like, that could absolutely be a part of this. But success is in a very fulfilled walk of life that you're going to be taking, where you just feel at peace with what's next, and you feel in balance and in harmony and grounded and in alignment with everything that's going on in life. And there's going to be a group of people here who are going to, I just keep seeing like someone like lift you up. Right? Kind of like, right? Like some Lion King here. Like, you're being shown to the world, to people, to your coworkers, to your friends, to whatever this is. And it's like, they're there supporting you too. They're cheering you on. They're so excited for you. They're like, yes, you deserve it, pile 3. And you're going to have people in your energetic field that are going to help you get even further along with your manifestations, right? And that's kind of the cool thing about manifesting, wow, because that's a word. Manifestation and manifesting is that it never ends, right? Once you get one, the goal is to have another. That's life, right? There's no final product here. And so, but this does feel like you're going to have people in your energy that are going to be there with you in the long haul, who are as unique and unorthodox as you are. And it's like, it's very much like, I keep hearing 2 peas in a far out pod, man. Like, very much this friendship, very much this connection, the links that hold each other together. This is calling in tribe. This is calling in soulmates. This is calling in just the people who are meant to be there for you, with you along the journey. And it feels very at peace, but you're in a place now where emotionally it's not a roller coaster ride. Like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, it's like, you're not in that energy. You're just like, wow, thank you, it's here. Like, you're receiving it, right? It's not like trying to be overly ecstatic about it. You're just like, yes, it's here. I'm so glad it's here. And I know that sounds strange, because it's like, is that showing gratitude? And it is, because part of our journey is to stay emotionally stable, and where we want to feel the joy. It's like the joy comes through as gratitude, right? And it comes through as this very, like, it's not like really harsh hards things, and really harsh hards, because I can talk. Hold on, let me. My dogs are like, what are you doing? Okay. So it's not like the really hard hards anymore, the really high highs and the really low lows. It's literally just like you're maintaining on this straight line while life is doing this around you. But you're the harmony, you're the grounded energy, you're the balance, right? And you're receiving everything that's yours. So, Source, what is the absolute most important message that pile number 3 needs to hear at this time? You know, it's like if at one point, like you were chasing anything, right? That could be love. It could be finances. It could be, you know, popularity. It could be being seen. It could be like letting your light shine. Whatever it is, if you were chasing anything in your life, you're no longer chasing it. You're just like, I'm going to receive it. And if it's not, like, even if things are kind of up and down with it, you're maintaining. Like, you never change. You're not the one that's changing, even though life is kind of like going like this all around you and all crazy and up and down, and we're on this crazy roller coaster ride. And you're the one that's just the constant. And that's what's so powerful. That's why you're so magnetic right now, because most people, when life is doing this, people are doing this too, like trying to keep up with it, and you're just like, nope, that's cool, I'm just gonna walk my line here, right? So and that's what you're doing. So what is the absolute most important message that pile number 3 needs to know right now? Please have one more card. What is the absolute most important message that pile number 3 needs to know? Thank you. All right, let's see what comes out for you. Let's get a little bit more intel on this. See what comes through. Yeah. Oh, Source, I love you so much. We start off with the King of Cups, baby. Freaking pile 3, I love you. I love you, pile 3. I always do. Even when it's hard, I still love you, because it's like next level sometimes with the synchronicities coming out. And they happen on all the readings, but I just love it. Like we were talking about it, like you're the emotional constant. You're very emotionally mature. You're aware. You've gained so much wisdom through the journey, because maybe at one point you were going with life like this all over and trying to figure out how to maintain. And whatever it is has brought you into this place. It's like, if it works out, great. If it doesn't work out, great. Like there's no hard feelings against anything, anyone, or whatever is coming. You're just sitting here and receiving what's yours and letting it come to you as it comes to you, and like knowing that there are always going to be setbacks. There are always going to be moments where you fly ahead too, but you're the emotional constant. And it's like maybe at one time you were very unclear about what was meant to happen in your life, where the direction was you were going, and now you're not. You recognize you have choices everywhere. The opportunities are endless is what I'm hearing here. They're absolutely endless. And it's like you are very aware of what is in your cup. It's understanding the position that you hold is very powerful indeed. And knowing that there's no reason for you to be dizzy on a brick or to be in this place of trying to make other people feel bad because of how far you've come. You show up for every person. You're in the same energy, right? Even if somebody's in a negative energy, you're still in this even constant energy. Okay. Like it's not trying to fix somebody. You're not trying to heal people anymore. You're just like, if I heal myself, and the more I heal myself, the better I feel, the more I fill up my own cup. You could be a Pisces, right? This Pisces energy here. But the more you recognize that that's what's so unorthodox about you, that's why you stand out so much, because not a lot of people actually do the healing journey. You know, I think that we would love to say, especially in the spiritual industry, right? We would love to say that healing is so much more common than we'd like to know. And the reality is that where there might be thousands, even hundreds of thousands of people who are doing the journey on an earth that's full of like what, 8 billion people, almost 8 billion people. I mean, hundreds of thousands it's a pin drop, you know, compared to the amount of people there are. And that's why it's like, it seems like there might be a lot of people who are doing it, but There's really not, like, comparatively so. Even if there's 1 million people, right? That's not even 1%. Maybe it's more like, it would be like 1.3, something like that percentage. I don't know, something around there. Because what, 8 million would be 10%. Or no, would 800 million be 10% of 8 billion? Because billion's a lot. So anyways, you're looking at a small percentage. It's a small percentage. And so you're someone who is just recognized as like, wow, like they're different. And it's really not different. It's really just the healing journey. See, you make people stop and think. Like, I was thinking about those math questions, like math answers. Like, I'm actually really good at math. You would know those sometimes, because when I'm on here channeling, it doesn't always come through because I'm elsewhere. I'm not in my analytical mind. That's why. And so it's interesting because it's like, that's how you make people feel. Like, you make them stop and they're all, huh, what's different about pile number 3? Like, I can't quite put my finger on it, but I really like them and they make me feel good and their energy is really bright and they're just trying to show you here that you're coming into a very magnetic place in time. Yeah. You've had a lot of chaos in your life. And there may even still be a lot of chaos in your life. Okay, but you're letting go of what's not meant for you, like shoring up old patterns. Look at this. This could have been a relationship that failed. Oh, okay. That's interesting. It doesn't have to be. Okay, but we see here it's you being represented by the King of Cups, and you have a Queen of Cups here in the reverse, someone who is very cold, very emotionally distant, not capable of giving you attention, not capable of being there for you, not capable of support in anything emotional. Like, it's basically like, this feels like someone who would be a conversational narcissist, right? Anytime that you say anything that's going on with you, they've had that, but worse. Right? And they just belittle you and how you feel and how you're experiencing things. And you've given enough to that and you're letting it go with the Four of Wands and the upright being here at the center of your reading. We're talking about shoring up old habits, old patterns, letting it go, not facing that anymore because you recognize that there's no reason to continue in this roundabout energy. There's no reason to stay in a situation that continues to cycle and cycle and cycle because this person is not in a place where they want to change. And, you know, when we have the Three of Swords in the reverse, it talks about taking 1 step forward and maybe 10 steps back. It's that same energy. It's this back and forth energy. And I love that the Three of Swords came out when I was talking about how the energy around you is kind of all hectic and going like this and it's all crazy and everything like that. And so what's happening here is you're moving into a period in your life where you're letting go of people who try to get you back on that ridiculous emotional roller coaster in life. And the reason that you're moving on from that is because you've done the emotional healing. Like, they're very much pointing towards this healing, this maturity, this growth, this glow up that you have here. And it's armored in truth. Right? You're very much armored in truth, and you're armored in knowing that you can move soundly along your journey without having to be affected by everything and everyone that comes into your energetic field, right? Whether it's good or bad. You don't have to be in this place of being like a kid on Christmas morning when you get your manifestation, and you equally so don't have to be like the kid who throws a temper tantrum when they don't get what they want. You're equally grateful for both experiences. And that's what makes you stay on the straight and narrow. And, you know, they often say that the path to what it is that we seek is not a straight line. And you recognize that. And so while you might be even in this even energy and constant energy, even if life takes you out here or over here or this way, you're still in that very even energy as you move along the journey. So it's not to say that nothing bad ever happens to you. It's just showing here, Source is saying the most important message is you're coming into a period in your life where the good, the bad, the beautiful, the ugly, it's all equally valuable in your life, right? Because that's what it is to be human, is to experience that contrast, is to experience those ups and downs. But what it is to be spiritual on the human journey, right? Because we're actually humans. What is it? We're spirits trying to have a human experience. That's what it is. It's not being human trying to have a spiritual experience, because spirituality is our nature. That's our core. That's who we are at our core. Like, if you peel away all the human things, we're spirit, right? And so you're here, but when you integrate your spiritual journey into this human experience, you begin to find that pure bliss everywhere you go, whether there's something really difficult that you're facing or whether it's something that's really easy that you can face. You know, it doesn't matter. You're in this state of pure bliss, and very rarely now do things knock you outside of this contentment that you're feeling. And this energy is what is making you magnetic, because that is the spirit coming through. It's like when the spirit steps forward and says, okay, ego, you've had your fill, right? We're just going to push you over here. It's not that we're trying to get rid of you. It's just that you need to let me lead now, because we've let you lead for so long and you've healed that part of you, and your ego's in this place of like, okay, like I can trust that now. Like, we've gone through the healing, we've gone through the upsets, we've gone through all this stuff, and I can trust that you're going to lead us now, and I don't have to hold on, even though there may be things where the ego comes out and says, whoa, whoa, whoa. But the more you let your spirit lead, the more you're recognizing just how easy life can become to navigate. Even when you deal with people like this in the Queen of Cups energy, people who want to cause emotional chaos, emotional disconnect, people who want you to believe everything that it is that they're saying about you, or they're saying lies about you, whatever it is here, it's like, this is like people who are trying to play on others' emotions and be very overprotective. They're trying to be very caring to people who aren't involved in your situation together, while trying to make them look like the good guy. They're trying to make themselves seem like the person that you are. But the problem that they're running into, whoever this is that every time you come around, this energy is very, 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 very bright. It's undeniable who's really standing in that healthy energy. And there's nothing that this person can do to change that. Like, they can't just one day say like, oh, I'm gonna be the King of Cups, like that's who I am now, right? You have to go through the process to get there. They're in a Queen of Cups in reverse. They're not gonna wake up tomorrow being the King of Cups. They're not even gonna wake up tomorrow being the Queen of Cups in the reverse. They're probably not even gonna wake up tomorrow being the Ace of Cups, the Two of Cups, or any of the Cups cards in the upright, because they're the Queen of Cups in reverse. They gotta go through the process, right? We call it the Fool's Journey. And whether you read Tarot Marseille, Thoth, or the Rider-Waite-Smith, we talk about the Fool's Journey, right? And it's the Fool's Journey to enlightenment. And there's a path that the Fool has to go through on this journey to get to where they're going. And that's exactly what it feels like. You've gone through the Fool's Journey. So if they were ever to make that change, they would have to begin at the beginning. There's no fast track to getting to where you're at. It's not that you couldn't help them get there, but what Source is showing here is because you've let go of the attachment to whoever this is or whatever this is, because it could even be a situation. Letting go of the attachment to that has allowed you to step fully into this very, very intimidating energy. Right? And it is because it's showing that you are not emotionally attached to any outcome. It's whatever comes is whatever comes, and I will be thankful for hardships and good ships and whatever's in between, because it's all meant for me. right? And most people are in this energy of like, oh, life happens to me, and you're in an energy of life happens for me. And so if you don't feel like this yet, that's why this is the most important message you need to hear. This is where you're headed. Okay, so you're on this path, you're on this journey. There's going to be something here that you realize, whatever it is that keeps making you go backwards, you're going to let it go. You're going to let it go, especially with the Four of Wands being at the highlight of your reading here, right in the center. In the upright, talks about letting go of old patterns, right? That's just a very basic meaning of it, but it's showing here that that's really where we're going with it, is that you don't want to hold on to it. And for it to be in between the Three of Swords in the reverse and the Queen of Cups in reverse, we see that the old patterns are mentally believing that you have to put up with these situations because that's what life is, rather than just seeing it as something that simply is. So deep sense of acceptance is coming through for you. All right, let's see. What else would you like to say here, Source? Okay, yeah, opposition flipping over here. We have imbalance, a point of tension, and a power struggle. So that's why you've been dealing with this energy as well. That's why I was saying you're in a very intimidating energy right now. This is someone who really wants to be where you're at, but they're not ready to do the work, right? They're not ready to go through what it is that you went through to get to where you are. And I feel like some people think that, oh, this is a fake it until I make it type energy. Like if I just fake it, one day I'll make it. And that's not really the case. Not with the spiritual journey. You actually have to put in the work. This is kind of one of those things. It's like you can't fake working out and hope one day you're going to be a bodybuilder, right? Like you just can't. It doesn't. There is no faking it until you make it. There are some things in life that you cannot fake to make. Like you really actually have to show up. Yeah, we have mutable energy, surrender, fluidity, and welcoming change. Yeah, so this is a whole new era for you. Right? And I feel like this is something that is going to be really feeling magnificent for you. You're just going to look at your life and be like, wow, my life has gotten this good. This is incredible. And it just feels like a sense of peace. Everything is at peace. You're at peace. Everything you're doing is at peace. Like very rarely will it ever uproot the peace because you're the one who's created it. We have pig spirit with use your mind wisely. Your thoughts are things here. You're recognizing that you create your reality by thinking certain ways and believing in certain things and feeling really. Manifestations come from how we feel, right? And the more that we chase things, that's what it felt like at the beginning, is that you had been in an energy of chasing something on your journey. And maybe it didn't seem like that at first, but then as you finally got further and further, you realized, wow, I was really attached to the outcome. And so you recognize that what you're thinking, if you're thinking, I'm not ever going to get that, or when is it coming? Like, oh my gosh, it's taking so long. It's putting you in a feeling of not being able to manifest that here. And equally so, recognizing that other people, circumstances can play on those negative emotions and really amplify that within you, which would help to block your manifestations, right? Because they're feeding off of that negative energy. But you flip the script because you did the healing. Yeah, time to collaborate. And so there's going to be a period in time right now where you're going to be connecting with new people. Again, we see that, right? With the dice. You're going to be connecting with new people, reaching out. People are going to be reaching out to you. They want to connect with you. They want to get to know you. Yeah, lightning, power. And this is interesting because this card talks about duality. You know, without good, the bad cannot exist. Without bad, the good cannot exist. That's a very contrast energy here, but also talking about how powerful of a position that you're in. And it's like, even though there's a lot of turmoil in this card, like you don't change. You don't change. You're very much in the same energy, as well as positive things happening. You're in this very same energy, being emotionally mature. And it takes a long time to get there. And so I want to say congratulations, right? Yeah, a lot of self-love. A lot of self-love. With love, compassion, this talks about taking care of yourself and being there for yourself and recognizing that how you feel and what you're going through is equally as valuable and valid as what other people are going through and experiencing. There is no difference, right? Like, you get to put yourself first as well. And recognizing that has really brought you up into this place of knowing, like, sometimes you're going to have to say no, or sometimes you're going to have to say yes. And sometimes you're going to have to put things on hold. And sometimes you're going to have to really work hard and buckle down for what it is that you want. But understanding that how you feel is everything, and being compassionate to yourself in those moments, knowing that if you need a rest, if you need a break, if you need to draw away, you can. And if somebody doesn't like that, then even if you want that person in your life, you're unattached to whether or not that person stays in your life because of that, right? Because it's ultimately has no reflection on you. It's just saying, I love myself so much that when I need a break, I need a break. If I need to draw away, I'm going to draw away. And if people have an issue with that, then okay, right? And that takes power. That takes guts. That takes courage. A lot of people say they're in that energy, but really at the bottom and the truth and what's in their core is that if somebody they really, really loved or really were attached to the outcome, if something were to falter there, they would fall apart. And that's a very interesting thing, right? But with you, pile 3, what Source is saying is your most important message is that you're no longer in that place where you're going to fall apart. You're just okay with what is. Yeah, ending the cycles with cycles and hair here. This is a rebirth for you. And this feels very innocent too. Like, this feels like just innocent. Like, you're showing up from a place of love for yourself. And whether people see that as love, right, is not your problem. But you really are showing up from a place of love for others. But not everybody can see it that way, because they don't see you saying no for yourself as love. They see you saying no as rejection because they're attached to the outcome, right? We have progress. It seems a long slog, but your efforts will pay off soon. Stay on course for at least a few more months before making a change. And offerings, you'll be offered a new position or investment opportunity. Think about it and research it carefully before accepting. So you're going to get offerings. I feel like offerings of friendship, offerings for job, whatever it is, there's going to be offerings. You're making progress in your journey. We saw that with the reading. So these are definitely confirming exactly the energies that have been coming in. But any of the offers, just know, like, if you have to take a step back and reassess it, that's what self-love is, right? Ending. Yeah, this is what I was saying. This is a transformation for you. You may leave a position or be terminated. However, there's always a new opportunity ahead. You may change careers entirely. And this is that feeling as well. Like, even if there is an ending, it's not the end of the world for you. Like, it's just like, okay, what's next? And you move towards whatever's next. It looks desolate and it looks awful and it looks miserable, but some way, shape, or form, you bring the joy to it because you're not worried about the outcome. Okay, I just want one. This one. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I didn't need 3. We're going to get an Affirmies card today. Yeah, trust the universe. You are a divine mystical being made of freaking stardust. When you make a commitment, the universe will respond. Dream the impossible and the universe will lift you up and teach you to fly. Hurl yourself into the abyss of the unknown and believe that the universe has your back to catch you each and every time. So start manifesting your destiny, young stargazer, and watch as the universe delivers everything you want on a silver platter. All you have to do is believe. I love that. And I feel like that so perfectly demonstrates the energy that you're in. I'm just going to manifest what it is that I want and trust. You could be a Pisces. We have Pisces energy here. We see your intimacy, your intuition, and your compassion are all definitely gaining recognition here. People noticing how compassionate you are. They're noticing that they can be intimate with you, have intimate conversations with you, and that your intuition is on point. Venus, exactly. You're in this very receptive energy, right? It's give and receive love, find value and see beauty. So you got Venus twice here. It's a very feminine energy. You could be a divine feminine, and if you're not, that's all right. You're just very much embodying the divine feminine energy right now. Fierceness with Wolverine and 5. Yeah, this is something you fiercely fought for. Like, it's one of those things. Don't take my kindness for weakness. Just because it looks weak to you, I am not weak. Just because it looks like I don't have much to say, it does not mean that I don't have anything to say. Right? It's just you've come into a place of knowing when there's a time to speak and that sometimes there's a time to stay silent. And prosperity. Yes, with Peacock here, you're stepping up into a place of prosperity on your journey. You've changed so much. Again, your third eye, your intuition is leading you there. Your third eye is wide open. You're ascending into a new chapter of your life. Let's see what your affirming says. Own who you are. Never silence that inner lion's voice. The real you is incredibly beautiful, and if you have to hide any part of it, well, that's a tragedy. People don't like you, or people don't have to like you, and you don't have to care. You'd be surprised how much a healthy dose of confidence can make anyone untouchable. So whatever it is that makes you, you, own every last bit of it, and I assure you, you will leave them choking on your greatness and gasping their last breath on how freaking awesome you are. Own who you are. I love this message. I love the Affirmies cards. They're so freaking cute. I don't know why I don't bring them out more. Alright, so let's take a look at your Bird Oracle cards. I'm going to read these from the book. You got two. Shh. You were the only pile that did. Don't tell anybody. I won't if you won't, you know. So let's see what the first one is. Pheasant. Okay, so we have adopt to place and circumstance to discover happiness and contentment. Alright, do we really even need to look at the next card? Because that's what I said. You're this constant. No matter what's going on around you, you're content. You're happy. You're at peace. Above anything else, you're at peace. That's Santosha. And if you don't know what Santosha is, you can definitely check it out. I have talked about it on my podcast, so if you'd like to check that out, you can go there as well. But it's just you've found Santosha. No matter what's going on around you, you're in this place of contentment. Right? So Pheasant says, if Pheasant has strutted proudly into your cards, crowing raciously, his counsel is that you adopt to place and circumstance. Pheasant was once a stranger in a strange land, but is now so perfectly adopted to England's countryside that a few dream he was begotten in such a mysterious and remote lands. And none can now imagine its landscape without him. If, like Pheasant, you find yourself in foreign realms with unfamiliar customs, be like Pheasant. Utterly yourself. Own who you are. While absorbing every detail about your new home, with knowledge comes ease, with familiarity, happiness. Pheasant is welcome in the four corners of the globe, and so will you be. And that goes back to saying, like, what I was with the dice, like, feeling like you're going to be really well known, like you're going to have followings here, you're going to be, it could be a social media following, it could be online, it could be for a business or something like that, but you're going to be known around the world. Let's see what your other card is. Oh, I love this. Ruby-throated hummingbird. Take courage and the world will reward you with the bounty. So with prosperity, let's see, where's hummingbird at in the book? Red-throated hummingbird, 47. Okay. I love this. I love this for you. Okay. When chill winter approaches, tiny hummingbird's eastern seaboard home, she does not stay, fluff her feathers, and complain of dwindling nectar. Instead, her heart beating 500 times a minute, she makes a non-stop 500-mile crossing of the Gulf of Mexico, flying above and between its truly fearsome waves. Her reward? To flourish on the nectar of a million glorious blossoms and to add to the bounty of life by pollinating them. It is so human to stay in unfruitful situations and uncongenial places out of fear, when in our heart we know change is needed. Not making a decision is a decision in itself. A decision to stay. If months, even years of your life are passing in futile complaint, then tiny hummingbird, she weighs but 1/10 of an ounce, has come to set you a courageous example. Consider her wisdom and make it your own. Okay, so again, it's like you did the journey, and I feel like that goes back to the fool's journey. It's like you had the courage to make the fool's journey, right? That 500-mile trek. You didn't sit and complain about where you were, try to pretend you were someone that you weren't, even though you may have at one point in time in your life. You're not there anymore. You're not in that energy anymore. You're like, no, I am who I am. I'm gonna be who I am. I'm gonna let myself be seen. And you made the journey, and now you're getting rewarded because you chose to do that journey. Even if it's taken forever. Yeah, maybe you still complained about it, but you still showed up. You still showed up. Crossing those fearsome waves. Sometimes maybe you got sprayed with water, but you never stopped. And now there's gonna be something that comes in that shows you that the trek was worth it. And that's what Source wants you to know. This is just a huge message of hope. You're on the right path. You're doing all the right things. We amend you. Is that right? Commend you? We commend you because it has been a long, arduous journey. And you're on the path to success. Because you found the key to happiness, which is Santosha, contentment in all situations. The good, the bad, the beautiful, the ugly. I love this reading, pile 3. If you feel like this is your reading, leave a little peacock emoji down below and say, I took the treacherous roads to finding the light that resides within, and now I am a star shining bright. And if this resonated with you, it means so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. I'm going to go ahead and leave this here and get on out of here. I do want to take a quick second, though, to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my guides for coming together to give us this amazing message. Also, if you are interested in supporting the channel further, you'll find all those links below in the description box in order to do so. You can email me for a personal reading. You can follow me on over to my podcast on Spotify at Scatter Love Radio. You can even join as a member, and I would love to see you on memberships, but if not, thank you for your continued support here. I loved your message. I'm truly honored to be here giving this to you. But I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here. And as always, until next time, pile number 3, stay human. Bye.